Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for popping in today. I have a new layout and video to share for Shimmerz Paints, and I'm going to be making a layout with lots of hearts and lots of pinks and reds today. And I'm starting with a cut file. This is the Heart Swirls cut file by Paige Evans. You can find that over in the Silhouette store. And I'm going to use this black and white picture of me and my husband because I thought it was cute. And, you know, I'm using all kinds of hearts and making this kind of a lovey-dovey layout. So I thought it was the perfect picture. And so for this cut file, it's one heart, but I resized it a couple times and then welded it together to make one big cut file with 3 different hearts. And I'm using smooth, thick white cardstock as my background, and I'm going to cover a lot of it with clear gesso to prep it and get it ready for lots of paint and lots of liquids. So my first thought was, you know, if I'm going to make a layout geared toward Valentine's Day and love and hearts, then I've got to have lots of pink. So I wanted to try to challenge myself to use some colors that I don't use a lot and I haven't used in a very long time. And so this color here was the first one that popped into my mind. It's Inklingz Garnet. And when you hear the word garnet, you know, you think of like a deep red color, but it's the most beautiful deep pink color, and it has gold powder mixed in. So when it dries, it's not only the gorgeous pink color, but it's got this gold shimmer on it. And later on, I'm going to show you that up close when it dries, but it's so pretty and I just need to use it more. And I don't know why I don't. This color that I'm using now is more of a red color. It's also an Inklingz. It's called Lover's Lips. And so I thought I would just kind of start by, you know, using some of the paint, adding a little bit of water, spritzing it and kind of diluting it a little bit, and then just using my brush to kind of spread it around the page. And my thought was I'm going to have lots of reds and pinks on the background, and I'm going to leave the cut file white so you can see all of the background work through it. All right, this color here is also beautiful. Haven't used it in a while. It's a Blingz, and it's called Gold and Roses, and it's definitely more of a rosy mauve pink color, but it's a Shimmerz. Well, Shimmerz/Blingz. So it's got lots of glittery, shimmery goodness in it when it's dry. So you can definitely see the shimmer later once everything is dried, and I'll show you that up close. But yeah, I'm just kind of making a messy, splotchy background here, dabbing a little bit of it up, letting it just kind of do its thing, and it looks so pretty, I think, later on when it's all done and the cut file is back on top of it. So I'm going to continue to work with some colors here. This is one I haven't used in a while. This one is also an Inklingz. It's called Hot Stuff. It's more of a hot pink color, which, you know, gotta love me some hot pink, especially on Valentine's Day. But I tried to stay away from a lot of the sprays because my go-to colors tend to be the sprays. And so I thought, you know, there are lots of gorgeous colors that I have not used in so long, and I just need to kind of branch out and give them a go. And I think they look so pretty mixed together. That's one of my favorite things to do with Shimmerz, is just to mix and match and kind of let several colors run together and blend from one color to the next. And it's just, yeah, it's magic when it's all said and done. So I'm going to come back in up here at the top with a little bit more of the Garnet and just continue to work on the background here. And one of my favorite things about making a background like this is it's just always going to look completely different than any other layout you've ever made because the colors are going to run and blend differently. The shape that you're going to get on the background is going to be different, you know, and you're also going to get different shades depending on how much water you add to it. You know, do you want to add a lot of water? Do you just want to add a little bit? The possibilities are really endless with this type of thing. I like to do that. You just saw me pick up my paper and let it run and blend. I love to do that, and so I like to add more water to allow it to do that. So I'm going to start to dry things here, and I'm using my heat tool, and the heat tool is great if you want to get like the drips, the actual look of the drips dried. The heat tool is great for that. But if you don't want that, do what I'm going to do here and just take your brush with a little bit of water and kind of smudge it around like I'm doing and use the heating tool at the same time. So It just depends on the look you're going for. But yeah, look at that gold shimmer. I didn't even use any extra gold. That's all in the Gosh Garnet. Oh, it's so pretty. If you're a gold fan, there is a whole line of Inklingz that have gold mixed in. If you look on the website, you can probably find those. But I know there's a green one, there is a blue one, and maybe like a yellow one. I'll look those up. But yeah, there's a whole line of Inklingz with gold mixed in, and they all have that finish when they're dry. So I let that dry, looked at how it looked, and decided to keep going. So I'm going to add in some more here. And this is more of the Gosh Garnet. I just could not get enough of that color. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And you know, with shimmers, the more layers you add, the darker the color you're going to get, the more bold it's going to look. So you have options, you know. The more you dilute it, the lighter it's going to be. And it just depends on the actual color you want. And, you know, you just kind of have to play around with it. And I think this looks really, really pretty. And I almost did not want to I just wanted to leave the background as it was. I didn't want to cover it up with the cut file, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes when you're making your mixed media layouts. Things are going to get covered up. And I already knew going into this that that's the cut file I'm going to use. That's the picture I'm going to use. And so that is going to, you know, cover up a lot of this mixed media. But I always like to have my mixed media showing through everything and around. So, okay, check this out. Look at this. Do you see that? I know you see that shimmer. Isn't it pretty? So you can see the shimmer from all the different colors there. I think all of the colors that I've used thus far have shimmer in them. All right, so I went through some loose random pattern papers that I have and found this paper. Thought it was beautiful. I haven't even used it. And I think I got it last year at some point. It's from Kaisercraft, I think. And I just love these flowers. And so I thought I'm going to fussy cut a few of these out and see how this looks on my background. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then if you notice on these flowers, there is some orange. And I have not used any orange on my background. And I wasn't sure if that was going to work. So I'm going to play around with it, see how I like these flowers. Then I decided, okay, if we're going to use these flowers with some orange, then we need some orange on the background. So I'm going to add a little bit here and there. That spray that I used is a Coloringz, and it's called Peachy Keen. And it's definitely on the orange side, but it's softer. It's not like, you know, rainbow orange, but it does have orange flair to it. And then I'm going to mix in Shimmerz Pumpkin. And it is definitely orange. Very, very pretty. I thought I would add in a little bit of that. And again, just add a little bit of water to kind of soften it up and let it run and blend with the pinks. And, you know, this is a good example of how your ideas kind of shift and change as you go. I had no idea that I was going to be adding orange to this layout. That color that I'm using there is called Wed Wagon, and it's a very soft red, but it's almost got a pink vibe. But it is on the red side. I know there's so many colors that you can choose from, but they are all different. Yeah, and that's why I like to make videos with the shimmers, especially on white backgrounds, so you can really see what the colors look like. And I know it's hard to see when there's so many blended together, and the lights over my desk, they kind of come in and out. Sometimes it looks brighter than usual, sometimes it doesn't. It's very hard to get the perfect lighting, but I'm going to try to hold it up here so you can see it a little bit better. And hopefully at the pictures at the end, you can see more of the colors close up. I did add some splatters there. I went back to the gold and roses and splattered around. Okay, so my thought process took on yet another color. I decided when I looked at the paper with all the flowers, the background of that paper was blue. And I thought, oh, I think I may need to add some blue. I feel like I have so much pink going on. It needs a contrasting color. So I went with blue, and I think yeah, see the blue there? I just thought that was a pretty color combo. So I had another pattern paper. It's a Vicky Bouton paper. And so I cut a piece of that to layer behind the picture, which is that blue color. And just fussy cutting out a couple more of these big flowers. And they do kind of blend in with the background, and I like the fact that the background has orange on it now. I feel like it pulls some of the orange from the flowers there. So before I start to glue things down, I'm going to use some adhesive foam behind my picture. Yes, that was a Vicky Bouton paper. Wanted to make sure I was right on that. From a couple of collections ago. I can't remember which collection that was. So yeah, I'm going to tuck a big flower under the right side and a couple of other smaller flowers on top. Okay, I took a break, and off camera I cut some of the Vicky Bouton flowers out that are more of a deep pink, and then a little more pops of blue with some leaves. I just kind of hand cut the blue. And so I like those soft little subtle pops of blue, and I thought to add in a little bit more of that, I would use some thread. So I pulled out some blue thread just to kind of tuck in here and there to give some more pops of that color. And I've also got some pink thread over there and some, what is another color? I can't tell. I think it's hot pink and light pink. But I'm really liking how this is going. And, oh, orange. That's the color I was thinking of. I do add a little bit of orange underneath the bottom heart there, just because I felt like I didn't have enough orange. It's hard to see here, but promise you can see it in person a lot better. And now it's time to start to glue things down. I'm going to very lightly just use little dots of glue here and there so nothing moves. I didn't want to take everything off again because I will never get it back how I like it. So a couple of the flowers I'm going to pop up using some adhesive foam and just kind of go from there. Still gluing. Couple more flowers, and those are the little Vicky Bouton ones that I cut out. Okay, here's where I decide to go to one of my go-to colors. You probably can guess what color this is. Yes, it's Jenny B Blue. I looked through all my blues, and this one was just the perfect one to match those blues that I have. So all I'm going to do with the Jenny B Blue is just splatter. I'm not going to do any other stuff on the background. So that one is a Vibes, and that one is my all-time favorite blue by far. So here you can kind of see the dimension and the texture from everything. Flowers and hearts and things like that. Leaves, they are perfect for dimension because you can curl up the edges. I'm also going to use a couple of dots. These are exclusive embellishments that you can find over in the Shimmerz store. There's all kinds of themes, different images and words, and cute little, all kinds of things. So check those out in the store as well. I'm going to use 2 of those. I think one says live simply or simply enjoy, something like that, and then happy day. So for my title, I'm going to go with the most simplest title ever, and it's going to be Love. So original, right? And it's a sticker from a Me and My Big Ideas sticker book that I got at Michael's years ago. And it's a clear sticker, so I'm going to stick it to some cardstock and cut it out so it stands off the page a little bit more. But sometimes you just need a simple one-word title, and you know, it's love. There we go. Don't even have to think about it. These are some little black clear sticker leaf clusters that are from, I think that's a Maggie Holmes sticker sheet from, I don't even remember what collection. I had this big bin of random things on my desk, and it was in there, so we're going to use it. I tried to use that little sticker there, but I didn't like how it looked, so I'm going to take that off. I used another one instead. So I felt like you couldn't really see the blue thread under the word love, so I'm going to come back in with a little bit more and just add that in. And this is almost finished. I think the last thing I'm going to do is add in my journaling. Yep, I'm going to use my little T-square ruler there that I got at joanns.com, and then use a black fine tip Sharpie for my journaling. But that's going to wind this up. I think that's it. We will see here in just a minute. But highly recommend all of these colors. If you've got all of the pinks you know, that are so popular, because so many colors are widely used more than others. But if you don't have any of these colors, highly recommend them. There's my final page. I love how all this turned out. And yeah, like I said, I hadn't even really thought about using orange or blue on this until I saw those flowers on that paper, and it just sort of happened. And I love how it came together. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. You can see that the gold shimmer there in some of these close-ups. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can find all these colors in the Shimmerz store. I'll make sure to list them all below in case you missed one. But yeah, I hope you get your hands on some of these soon because they're so pretty. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a great weekend.